Hey guys, Simply Betta here. I am wrapping up this February daily video challenge or daily vlog challenge. It's been a lot of fun and it's been a lot of work, but I proved to myself that I could do it. I could make this really big goal and then follow through with it. I've known that I was going to get myself a prize if I could finish the challenge, and I did it. As of uploading this video, I have done it. I've completed my challenge, and now I'm going to get my thing, which is a lighting setup. I don't really have very good lighting in my house. I have to usually rely on filming right next to a window in front of an aquarium light I have, which is I'm in front of an aquarium right now that has a really bright light that's shining on my face. Otherwise, it's just really dark in my house. And all the lights come from above, and so they put these big like demon shadows on your face. It's just not a very good situation. So my prize to myself is lights. Lights, 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 and I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun to play around with some new setups. I thought I'd wrap up the video challenge with a Q&A. So I've been asking for people to submit some questions, and I was gonna choose a bunch of them and make a video on them, and I thought that'd be kind of fun. To start that, I have some announcements. I have a big import coming in tomorrow, and I'm pulling my hair out about it because I always get nervous about these shipments, especially when there are a lot of fish. So I'll have a video on that soon, on my biggest unboxing ever. And I hope everything goes well. What other news do I have besides I'm gonna have some really nice lights soon? Also, I think I'm gonna set up a Patreon account for people who like that kind of thing. I have never even considered it until lately because everyone else is doing it. I should do it too. I'm reading some questions that I've saved on my phone. First one, what made you want to start getting fish? And how hard is it to take care of them all? I've just been obsessed with fish for quite a while, and I've never been able to act on it until lately, so I'm going all out. How hard it is to take care of them all? As long as I don't fall behind in maintenance, it's not that bad. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour every day, which might seem like a lot, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. Pet Craze says, what made you get into betta fish? I just think they're the coolest fish ever. I think their genetics are super interesting. That's an easy one. Amanda M says, do you make a profit selling your bettas, or is it a wash when factoring in your time and expenses? I have definitely not made a profit yet. If I considered all the sales that I've made and all the revenue I've collected, and I compare it against the time I've spent and the equipment I've had to buy, I'm definitely not in the green. Definitely not. I actually have the numbers because I've been keeping track of everything since the beginning because I want to be responsible and make sure that I'm not going too nuts, and I'm definitely not in the green yet. Ariana says, how much does it cost for you to keep the amount of fish that you have? Also, how many fish do you think you have in total? You know, once I have the fish and I have the equipment, it really doesn't take that much to take care of them, besides maybe a little increase in heating, a little increase in electrical consumption, and then my time. I have to spend time feeding them and taking care of their water and water changing, and that can add up. How many fish do you think you have in total? I have no idea. Maybe I'll go count them. Maggie Young says, how much time does it take you to do your daily care for your fish? Some days I take the day off and they don't get anything. Some days I put 2 hours because I have to change everybody's water. It just depends on the day. What's your favorite tail type of betta? Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. I love placottes because they have so much energy, but I really like half moons because they're beautiful. I just don't know. I don't know. Maggie asks, do you eat fish? Heck yeah, I eat fish. I eat betta fish. And Elcove has a ton of questions. When will bettas change colors? If they have the marble gene, they can change colors whenever. How often do they change color? I don't know. Can you get a hint of when color change will happen? Not if they're marble. You can't really predict it. Unless they're koi. If they're koi, which is basically marble that's been refined into not changing pattern as much, you can kind of predict that they're not ever going to change. If the parents have a cool color and you want the babies to inherit the same color, can you guarantee it? Not necessarily, but you can work to it. I mean, you might not get them in the first generation, but maybe in the second generation or third generation, you're going to get what you want. Rex Ross says, the bigger your channel gets, are you going to move to a bigger fish room or area? That's my dream. That's my dream, but maybe not until I move someday. Adrian says, how do you water change on planted tanks? I just use a Python hose. You see what I mean when I say it's dark? Very dark, very moody in here. Mobile Gaming says, what's your methods of selling betta fish? Mainly I sell to the pet store. I sell them all my pet quality fish, but the good ones I like to sell online. Sullivan Proctor says, what are your future plans for the hobby? My future plans would be develop some really good lines of fish, which I don't really have really good ones going yet, and also compete. The Turtle Girl says, who inspired you to start YouTubing and making videos? Who inspired you to get into the hobby in the first place? or made you want to take it to the next level? I would say just watching a bunch of YouTubers made me want to do it too, because I watched Inglorious Bettas, I love her channel, and I watched Bob Steenfot, and I watched Aquarium Co-op, and there's a bunch of others. Sorry if I'm not mentioning your names, but I can't really pinpoint it all on one person except for maybe Jeanne, because she's adorable. What made me want to take it to the next level? Trying it out and knowing that I loved it. Was it? Yeah. That was it. Red of Dead says, I feed my bettas deer meat raw. They love it. Have you ever fed raw red meat? Well, yeah, I feed beef heart. I've made my own beef heart gel foods, and the fish go nuts. Courageous Hero says, are fish friends and not food? If you're a salmon, sorry, you're not my friend. You're my dinner. Salmon or any kind of fish commonly found in sushi. Or sardines. Platinum Aquatics says, why did you decide to breed bettas over any other fish? I'd say the immense amount of variation and how interesting all the genetics were. Jessica B says, would you consider or have you ever been interested in saltwater fish? Also, I love the daily vlogs this month. Thanks, Jessica. Oh man, I would love to try saltwater, but I feel like it's just, if I were to try that right now, it's too much workload, in my opinion. Yeah. But I have a goal. I would love to have a saltwater tank, like a pretty reef tank and with a bunch of seaweed in there, a bunch of little Nemos, I don't know. Oh, this is a good question. Ray's Aquarius asks, what was the biggest learning curve that you faced when breeding bettas? I'd say the biggest learning curve was going from just reading about it to actually doing it. But that's how it is with anything when you're learning, right? You read it and then you have to apply all your knowledge, and that's when it gets tough. Rachel Austin loves Sheila. She's wondering if I could keep any kind of reptile or amphibian, what would it be? If money and space weren't an issue. If money and space weren't an issue, mostly money weren't an issue, I would do some of the really cool morphs of crested gecko, like the super Dalmatians, like the lily white super Dalmatians. They're so cool. Maybe I'll put a little picture right here. Maybe I'll steal a picture off of Instagram and just put it on my video. Also, super giant leopard geckos and cool morphs of leopard geckos. Yeah. So space isn't really an issue for those guys, but money maybe is. Vanessa Clearwood says, if I had to pick, what's my favorite color type of betta? Oh God, that's a really hard one, Vanessa, because I don't know. I don't know what my favorite is. I mean, I'm having a problem focusing on one specific type. Like, I'd love to make some show lines, but to do that, I feel like you really need to focus on what you want to do, and I don't know what I want to focus on yet. So I'm just kind of trying a little bit of everything to find out what I like and what I don't like, and it's been working. But if right now, at this very moment, it could change at any time, if I had to pick my favorite color, it would be koi. It would be koi. Koi and fancy marbles. And just beautiful, opaque, white, pure white. Jake in the lake. Have you ever thought about getting a saltwater tank? Yeah. B. Modi. How long have you been keeping bettas? Keeping? All my life I've had a betta fish here and there, but as for taking really seriously, just a couple years. Natalie Diaz, are deformities more common when spawning two fish from the same spawn, considering they share the same genetic makeup? Not necessarily. I mean, it depends. How many times have you bred the same line over and over again? What generation are those fish in? If you start with two fish, and then you breed them, and then you breed the offspring, and you breed the offspring, and you do it again and again and again and again and again, and now you're at generation 6 or 7, you might get things popping up which are not desirable, in which case you'd want to outcross. Inbreeding isn't a bad thing. It's how you control the genes. It's what you have to do to control the genetic makeup of your line and of your fish, but there's ways to do it where you don't have to do the severe inbreeding. In a responsible breeding setup, you might have several different parallel lines going, and then every few generations you outcross depending on which line needs improvement. And it's kind of hard to explain. That would make a good video. Morgan MSP says, how in the world do you manage all those fish and all of those tanks? I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know. April Wood Art and Pets asks, what wild bettas have you owned? I have owned Betta macrostoma, Betta smaragdina guitar. I'm owning for the time being a pair of mahachai, which are really, really pretty. And hopefully I'll get some api api in the future. Big city bettas. Veronica V. Where'd you purchase your mini fertilizer scale? On Amazon. If you had the opportunity to lecture around the country, would you consider it? Heck yeah, but I don't feel like I'm in the top of my field. I feel like I have so much more to do and to learn before I even consider doing something like that. Flame LGM asks, what was your first fish? I think my first fish was a goldfish when I was really young. They were a present. Pretty sure my mom got them for me from like Walmart. I wanted a fish, so my mom was like, all right, let's get one. And they ended up getting white slime disease, which is horrible, and I was really confused. And of course they died, and yeah, bad experience. Olivia Potter, how many fish do you have? Okay, I'll try to go, I have this question a lot. I'm gonna go count them in my fish room downstairs and try to give an answer. And the answer is this many. Isaiah Ricketts asks, do you have a job outside of YouTube? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Mostly I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's like my day job. And then my night job is I contract out websites and I build websites for clients and manage them. And I also do YouTube. That's kind of like a part-time job. And I also have a weekend part-time job at a fancy art gallery. Annie Riley, how do you say that? Riley, how do you say that? Hey, shirtless baby, you can't be on camera. Don't judge me. She doesn't like shirts and it's really hot in here. Will you start selling fish again? Soon. Very soon, especially with this import order coming in. I have some fish especially for resale, and I'll have my store up soon. I just got so busy this month with the vlog challenge. Sandy Swagger Upton asks, what's your favorite aquarium plant and why? I'd say Anubias is my favorite. I'm waiting for some coffee to brew. Geek Route asks, hey Taylor, can you do a daily vlog challenge for a year, please? Hell no. Chrisometer asks, how many tanks do you have? I think 14. Gabby XO, how old is Riley? She's 2. Also, I love your videos so much. Thanks, Gabby. Jimhin asks, JMIHN asks, do you have any educational background or training that helps you or what you do, or is it all self-taught? I would say it's all self-taught, but I am a bio degree dropout. I dropped out of my bio degree to go to video game school. So that probably helps that I'm kind of a bio nerd too. Emmett Pawar asks, is it possible to keep male and female Betta together, or can they be together only for breeding? For domestics, I would not suggest having a male and female together in a tank, which I'm sure there's exceptions to this. Like maybe somebody would be like, oh yeah, I had a male and a female together in a tank for 6 years and they did just fine. But in my experience, it's just risky. Ryo Watanabe asks, how do you stay so positive and motivated all the time? I don't know, I think I have brain worms. It's gotta be the brain worms. It says it's really tough at times. Yes, it is tough and tiring at times, but those brain worms keep me going. It's kind of a gross noise. Brett asks, what are some of your favorite video games? That's tough. I would say just off the top of my head, my favorites are The Witcher 3, Skyrim, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, and Stardew Valley. Lorena Diaz asks, what's your impression on how fast your channel is growing? Did you expect having all these subs? No, I did not expect to have all these subs. So you guys, thanks for subbing and thanks for supporting this little tiny niche hobby that I love and I want to spread. Thanks so much for watching and enjoying and supporting me like that. It's really, really cool. So thanks to all my amazing subscribers. Peyton Berry asks, why Bettas? Because they're really freaking cool. X He Wants Revenge asks, important fish question, what's the most played game on your Steam? On my Steam, it's probably The Witcher 3, but if World of Warcraft was on Steam, that would have the most hours played, absolutely. AV's Reptiles and Aquatics asks, what's the biggest mistake you made in the beginning of your fish hobby, and what are your goals in the fish keeping hobby? I don't think I've made a big mistake that outweighs all other mistakes. I've made a ton of little tiny mistakes, tons of them, and I've learned from them, and I'll probably keep making mistakes forever, because I'm not one of those people who denies ever making mistakes. Mr. B's Fish and Things, can we get you to do the tinfoil hat challenge? I don't know what the tinfoil hat challenge is, but I'll look that up. Joseph Krug asks, have you thought about summer ponds outside for any fish? Is it warm enough in your area to do outside fish? Absolutely, I've thought about it. Maybe this summer I'll actually follow through with it. Wilson asks, do you think solitary male bettas get lonely? No, I don't. They're not a schooling fish, they're a solitary fish, and I don't think they get lonely at all. Mary E asks, how do you cure Popeye and bettas? I use antibiotics. I've only had Popeye 2 times ever, and I've used antibiotics on both of them, and they've cleared up within a few days. Deborah Gilmore asks, how to get rid of brown algae? Oh man, if you find out, let me know. Delphin Espiritu asks, how long will you keep up on this hobby? Gosh, probably as long as I continue to enjoy it. I'll keep up on it, which I do enjoy it a lot. Do you ever feel that you're getting tired of your hobby? Sometimes it doesn't feel fun, but if you think about it, if you're passionate about something, it's not always fun. Like, it doesn't always have to be fun for me to be passionate about what I do. So sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it stresses me out. Sometimes there's just too much to do. But at the end of the day, I'll always put my family first. And because of that, sometimes I fall behind in the fish room and I have to make up for it with late nights or early mornings. But I get it done. Hidefa Ra asks, where do you get all the money to buy so many things? Well, okay, that's kind of a funny question. I don't have any other hobbies, really. So this is like the one hobby I have, which I just buy things for, I spend money on, and I don't mind it because it keeps me happy, it keeps me sane. Luis Abu, how do you sell all your betta fry if you don't have a store? Well, I only sell mature fish, and I sell to my local pet store. They take a lot of them. Miranda Nolan asks, how do you pick a female for your males? I like to pick a female that balances out the traits of the male, or vice versa. Like, let's say you have a fish with a really short body. Pick a partner fish with a longer body. Let's say you have a fish with a really flat back. Pick a fish with a stronger back. It's kind of like that. You're trying to pair your fish to create the ideal offspring. He asks, which part of Alaska are you from? I'm from Chugiak, Alaska. Professor M, I gave up on microworms because of the smell. Yeah, microworms are a little bit smelly. They're great food for little tiny baby fry, but it smells like fermenting oatmeal. It's not very good, and if the culture ever starts to go bad, it smells like an outhouse on a hot day at a public state fair. Joe Betta Vlogs, how do you know when to jar babies? I usually, when they start showing aggression, is when I know I have to start taking the males out. Madison Birch, how many spawns have you had? 25? 27? Crystal Salerno asks, what's the most challenging aspect of your fish career / hobby? How are you working on overcoming that aspect? I'd say my most challenging thing that I'm dealing with is time management. I'm working on getting everything more streamlined so I don't have to spend so much time working on this hobby, because I put a lot of time into it and I want to put less time into it just by being more efficient with a better infrastructure, etc. Oh man, well, sorry if I didn't get to your question. I had to go through a lot of questions, and that was fun to do a Q&A. I've never done one of those before. Thanks for watching if you participated and submitted. I appreciate it. Looking forward to a nice break after this daily vlog challenge. Oh, it will be so nice, so nice just to play some video games, I swear. And my next videos are going to be about all of the foods that I feed my fish throughout my life cycle. But I didn't want to do that in the vlog format because I wanted to spend some time on the video and make it nice, because so many people ask me. I want to just be able to refer to this really well done, really nicely explained video and have it be more maybe professional looking than just a vlog. I'll be having a video about the import order that's coming in tomorrow, which I'm going to film it. I'm not going to put that out same day. I'm going to just focus on the fish and then maybe release the video a little bit after. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. I have some really cool, interesting things coming up on this channel and some big projects that I'm working on and that I'm finishing. So you guys have a great day. Thanks for supporting me, and I will see you next time I post.